How do you create a good sheet with keywords and titles to either use in your make.com automation or anything else? In this video, I'll tell you exactly how I am doing it. In my very first video on YouTube, I used this sheet to import into make.com and let make.com and OpenAI create all the articles for my website, basically. But there was very little explanation about how I did it, so I'm making this video to cover that exactly. Instead of going into Litecoin, which might be a bit technical, I decided to go for something else. And generally, I feel like people are best off writing about topics, or if they want to make a brand new website, that is, writing about topics that you can write a lot about. So I came up with the topics of dogs. And I just Googled for list of dog breeds, which is what got me into this Wikipedia article. And I scrolled around a bit and I was looking for familiar names. There are a lot of names that I actually don't know. And then I remembered there's this cute little dog that's called a Pomeranian. Should be somewhere here in the list. Oh, here. So we're going for the keyword Pomeranian, but just to be sure to check if there's any search traffic on this keyword, I'm using a paid tool called seranking.com. You can use Ahrefs as well. They have a free version, by the way, where you can just enter one keyword. According to seranking, Pomeranian has over 450,000 searches per month in the United States, and the keyword difficulty is fairly up there. If you're starting a brand new website, this will be very tough. But of course, we're also targeting the long tail keywords, which are a lot easier to get. So there's search volume for this specific term. So how do we get to like those other keywords? You can either use this tool and go to the questions, or you can use answer the public, and this is free up to 3 searches per day. I entered Pomeranians, United States English, and it gets you 715 results. It gives you both questions, it gives you a couple of search volumes, not every single one of them. And it also gives you the verses and some other data. This actually gives you more than my paid tool, so you can do this manually by getting this. But for me, for this example, it's easier to just get the list from my paid tool. So if we look at this list of questions, you can see how long do Pomeranians live? Same question, basically, same question. How much does it cost? How to groom? There's a lot of questions in here, and it's actually page 1 out of 11. So there's 500 questions, which are not all relevant, and some are very double, and some have very high. Well, for me at least, it's a very high competition score, which is weird for this keyword, by the way. But in general, we try to go for the easiest keywords possible with still some search traffic on it. And I did my research just prior to recording this video, and some of these keywords have very little competition. And actually, the keywords from Answer the Public are pretty good as well, because can a Pomeranian eat banana is not it's not in the list that I have here, I think. But it's actually a keyword with 170 searches, and most of these are just covered for dogs in general and not specifically for a Pomeranian. So the information is still a bit scattered, so you can actually provide good value to the people that are searching for things like this. So yeah, let's get into building our list. We need the title to start with, and we can use these questions right away without doing any specific complicated things about rewriting the titles or asking ChatGPT to create more of them. We can just list the first 200. It's probably easier for me to download this, but let's just copy paste it into ChatGPT and tell it, here is a list of questions about Pomeranians. It needs to be cleaned up and duplicates be removed. Please create a new list. And then we copy paste everything in. ChatGPT 4 is now accepting a lot of input. So it looks really awful. By just copy pasting. But there we go. So basically we now get the list of all the questions that were in the search query, and these could be your titles for the first part of this sheet. Then we also, we don't need the keyword because the title is basically the same as the keyword, and we don't import it into WordPress. I used the keyword before to guide the article basically. I used the keyword first and then I created a title that fit with the keyword. But we do need a slug, we do need an excerpt, and I've recently found out that you can also upload a meta description in WordPress using make.com. So we do need those three other things. Category will all be Pomeranians, and featured image we will either get one featured image or we just use DALL-E 3 to create images per post, which is probably better. And just to be sure guys, this is not something that I would like one-on-one run and not check, especially if you're giving health advice with dogs, like what kind of foods they should eat, or I don't know, specific dog treatments or like diet and nutrition, health problems. Make sure to double check the information, especially if it's critical. So don't just copy paste what ChatGPT is telling you. This is going to be a pretty long list. I'll just skip through a bit and make sure to check in when it's done. And we're done. So we have 48 good questions out of the 200. We did have more questions, but for the sake of this example, I think this is enough. Now we need to tell ChatGPT to create a table and include everything else. So we're going to create a table in the first column. I want you to insert the title, which is the question. The second column should be a slug for URL purposes based on the title. In the third column, you should create a SEO optimized meta description, and in the fourth column, create 160 word, probably less, create a 90 word excerpt. And let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. I'm reading, hoping the slug is well formatted. That looks good. Hoping the SEO meta description is not too long. It looks pretty long, but we'll see. This looks pretty good. It's going to do this for 48 more keywords. So this is going to take a while. I'm going to take a short break and I'll be back in a second and we'll insert this into the Google Sheet. See you later. And we're back. Unfortunately, I got a network error, and I think this has been happening a lot with ChatGPT the last couple of days. It's been super busy. So we're just going with the ones that we're having now, because it's just an example. We can just regenerate and keep trying until everything is finally done. Yes, this looks horrible. This looks better. I'm just going to insert it into my sheet and slightly optimize it to at least be visually appealing. This looks pretty long, but maybe not too long. So this is it basically. It's not that complicated. The title, slug, and meta descriptions look pretty good. How much does a Pomeranian cost? I think this is very similar to the one above. How big, how to groom. So I would use this specific Google Sheet and just add the category and the, if you want to, the featured image by inserting those manually. This could either be a website that's just about Pomeranians, then you could potentially add more categories, but if it's a website about dogs, you can only use this specific category. I'm actually considering making a website about pets in general in Dutch. So this might be useful to translate and create into a Dutch version. Let me know if you would like me to build with you. So that would mean that I would just start a website from scratch, do the keyword research, do the automations. I'll use make.com for as much as I can, but I'll also be using manual reviews of the content, do keyword research, do link building, and everything else that comes with building out a website. Let me know if that's something that would be of interest to you, because I would probably enjoy it to build out something in public, although it's kind of scary. But yeah, if there's any questions about how to do this, then let me know. But I think just going from finding a topic, then making sure that there's traffic on it, getting the questions with answer the public. And you can also just look at the first websites that rank in Google for the keyword that you're going after. So this is the third website that came up if you look for Pomeranians. And you can see characteristics, breed history, training care, health problems. These are probably the basic articles that you want to cover as well. And you can probably make bigger articles than the ones that are on here. And you can just use this content as a fact checker to make sure that you're not putting up anything weird. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to see, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.